on what basis you are making your intuition, that is so much important. So there you require science, there you require understanding of the modern physics or maths. So you cannot always rely on the pre-scientific or that style of learning, right? On what assertion you are making your intuition.
That means you are looking for a proof of, yes, whether it is true, whether it is possible, whether such a thing exists.
No, when you make I have always believed that when you make an intuition, on what basis you are making intuition is very important, because if you make an assertion based on some kind of, based on the strength of a mysticism or moral authority or political ideology, or if it is just because everybody knows that, if you make an intuition based on that kind of foundation, it will not prove to be right. Like, at least in the long run, it will not prove to be right. So all kind of pre-scientific learning have always made assertions based on these kind of intuitions. So don't you think that is what disconnects Bharatiya Shastra or the old concept of Indian knowledge from the modern science?
See, in the modern science, every research has got a problem in mind. I've got a methodology, I've got an objective, and I have a scope of research through which I get into a result and a conclusion. Intuition has no intention at all. Intuition is without intention. It is not that what I want, therefore I am doing it. It just comes. It is not Isaac Newton wanted to prove that gravity exists. Gravity is there without he giving us no theory for that or not. When something happens in the world, whether I predict it or not, it happens. I am not interested to stop it or to have it or not to have it. I am only able to talk about it. I am only able to make a statement about it. Maybe some things are experimentable. See, for example, when this medicine is mixed with this medicine and then given for this disease, it will get cured. It's an intuition. So what he does with that intuition, he works. It is not that, no, see, when in childhood, when we had a big cut, and I really wanted to cure it, I have to use this medicine. No, I don't know whether that medicine will work or not. No. Is it that I have experimented with hundreds of such small things, some juice which is taken from some leaf and then tried it? No, it is not. Somebody got an intuition that you have a coconut tree. The first, the leaf comes out of it. There is a brownish thing which has got a look of a skin. If I take that powder and then put it, my cut will get cured. How did somebody found this coconut tree and then the first leaf which is coming out of it and that bit of it? A spider, which when the spider makes its nest in the house, there is a white cotton sort of a thing which is coming out. It may be a waste excreta of the spider. That is good enough to cure my wood. If there is a cut on my body, I can just put it and then put it closer. It will be like a paste. It will be like a gum, which will be a biodegradable, bioadaptable activity which happens. Just like that it works. Just like that it works. But whether that is somebody, an Ayurvedic specialist, did lot of experiments and then got it, or it just happened. When it just happens, we call it as intuition. That's it.
No, it can work well for say 1,000 years, but then afterwards we say if it is not working, then that simply goes off.
No, I don't think the Bharatiya Shastram has disproved something doesn't work after some time. In science, there are a lot of things which we have disproved it later, because we have got a very limited observation which was not thousands of years old. What you said is correct. There may be something which has gone, but we don't have it today because it's already gone. What is existing is what existed for long years, 10,000s and millions of years probably. what modern science we have, most of them will disprove. See, for example, when I was a child, we all learned that there is 9 planets. No, we have got Newton, Pluto, everything was part of it. No, Neptune, Uranus, Neptune, Pluto, everything we learned. But later we found it is not a planet at all, it's only a dust, agglomeration of dust. Why? Because we had a telescope which could see things more clearly and we disproved it. But these are not with the objective scopes which are defined and then looked at through an experimental equipment which was used for such purposes where the Bharatiya Shastra worked. Probably it would have happened and it would have been disproved also. Many things would have been disproved. But what is existing today, probably what is useful for people. That's why I said Lokanam Upakaraya. Which is useful for human being, that only we will keep it. Which is not useful, we will throw it. There may be thousands of things which would have happened which we have thrown without even proving it, without even looking at it, without even keeping it in our house.
So how much reliable, like will it draw conclusions with a higher degree of reliability?
The reliability is only relative. See, I don't ask whether the medicine given by a doctor is reliable or not. I am in disease. So whatever he gives, I have got a faith in that, I will take. There are a lot of experiments done on the medicine, how does it work. There is something called the biofeedback in our body. There are experiments which happened about, I don't know whether you heard about this. There are a lot of people who are kept on, where their eyes were tied, and sometime it was opened to show that one culprit was made to cut his nerve and the blood was oozing out, and after some time he died. It was shown to somebody, some 10 people, and then what done was, the next is you put them onto the stage, the eyes were tied, and actually nothing is cut, but a feeling of cut is given, and small drops of blood oozing out is the smell of the blood, the clotting of the blood around him, everything was artificially made. Found after exactly few minutes later he became unconscious, because there is a feeling that you are being cut. That itself is good enough.
That is there with animals also.
That is there. That's what I am saying. What happens in this world, it is not what happens. The feelings of happening is what is curing most of the people, right? So what is your faith system? What is your belief system? When the doctor gives medicine, you have a faith that the doctor has, and that matters. You have a faith in doctor, your disease will get cured. Assume that you have a faith in your teacher. Whatever the teacher says becomes great for you. That is what most of the rituals are also. Why with rituals people get cured? There is a faith. That is because, assume that I have got a sickness in my body. The sickness in my body is not the sickness in my body. It is a feeling of sickness in the body which is more predominant than the real sickness. That's why we call not illness, we call it as dis-ease. Illness is for the body. Dis-ease, ease is a state of mind. Dis-ease is a state of mind wherein which I am not in ease. That means I feel that I am sick. So sickness has got two parts. One is the physical illness, and the another one is the disease which is of the mental state. The Hadayoga Pradipika says, Sharira Manaso Yoga Paraspara Manuvrajet Adhara Adheya Bhavena Tapta Jya Khadayoriva. The body and the mind is such related. When your body feels you are sick, the mind becomes sick. When the mind is sick, the body becomes sick. So it is totally related. The feeling matters. The presumption matters. My assumption matters. My faith matters. My intimacy matters. Why somebody, a child, when it is really painful, goes and then sleep on the mother's lap, the mother says, don't worry, you are all right, the child stops crying. They will not feel that pain is not felt when the mother keeps on the lap and then pat on the back. But assume that you don't have anybody around you to do that, probably the intensity of pain will be less. That is also possible, because you know that nobody else is there to take care of me, so the pain will not be there. Understood? And second one, when you have somebody around you, you are expecting a pat, and that doesn't happen, the pain becomes huge. So disease is relative. Disease is always relative. The feeling is part of, the faith is part of each one of us. We are looking at science, not animals, not plants, right? So any scientific analysis, any explanation, any proof what we have given has got a human part inside that. We must realize it. It is not entirely different, which can be disconnected across.
The fetus of a human baby, like for the 9 months, we find that there is a rapid growth of bones and muscles from the 6th month or so, right? Like that is what I understood from looking into the development of a fetus.
Yeah.
Which means there is some kind of this compound responsible. So, and what I understood or what I think is this compound can be like if you are able to maybe synthesize it artificially, or if you are able to extract it, and if you are able to use it on a man, can we unlock the powers of the brain, or can you go for an intense brain activity?
See, you are asking a very hypothetical question for which one sentence would have been good enough, right? What you are asking is, there is an environment in which a growth happens so fast, so intensive. Same thing doesn't happen after some time when you are out. That is what the environment. The environment gives you in a different style, in different mechanism. You have a seed, you keep it on the table, it doesn't grow. When you put it inside the Panchabhutas, air, water, sky and mud, everything is given combination and there is a space for it to grow. It breaks its skull, the skin comes out and then start growing. So that ability to grow is at that point of time. Then the rest of the time is to create the stem, make it into a bigger, this all comes from a small seed, right? It is not for human embryon alone. A small pupa to larva to a butterfly. Inside a mango, when the mango is flowering, a fly goes and then put the egg. The mango becomes a big mango. It waits for 3 months or 4 months. When it ripens, it becomes a worm inside. Every beautiful mango with a fragrant flower, inside that definitely there will be a worm. The most tastiest mango contains worm, either in the egg form or in the worm form. When it becomes totally ripened, how does this consciousness for that butterfly, for that fly which understands that I have to put a egg inside. When a egg grows into a chicken, the egg, even if it is to be broken, it is not that simple. There is a small air which is given for the small chicken as it grows. Until then, what air is required for the chicken? It takes a breath, and with that energy it breaks the eggshell. Who taught this chicken that it has to break? From then it grows, but that activity is never done outside. That energy, that consciousness, that power is not given outside. When you have got so many animals, if you look at the animals around, which is the tallest animal, probably when it gives deliver, the delivery happens nearly 1.5 2 feet above. It stands and delivers, and the kid falls 2 feet, nothing happens. Understood? And the kid by birth itself is falling. Nothing happens. And in few hours it learns how to run. Every animal cannot do that. So for each animal, each creature, each flower, each plant, there is a saying that Brahma created millions of such creatures, and Brahma became became tired and tired, where every animal is able to hold horizontally its head, but Brahma created a head which is much more powerful, with the human weight to the weight of the head. 1/10 of the weight of the body is in the head. Very difficult to understand how this neck is able to hold this weight with a twisting ability like this. But there are cranes which can tilt 360 degree. Human beings are able to tilt only 180 degree. But my eyes can see another 180 degree, 120 degree. So when I tilt 180 degree, I can see behind. Without even turning my body, I can tilt like this and then see my behind. Tilt like this and see behind. I can see 360 degree. With such a capacity for this head to tilt, God has given such a great creature like this. And now what my girl Nandini wanted is, why he has not given that sort of an environment inside the Garbhapatra for development, which can be a chemical which I can inject and my brain becomes much bigger. No, I don't think God has given a beautiful creation. Now assume that I want to scratch on my back, I can tilt like this. Now you will ask why it is only moving 180 degree, why it cannot move 360 degree. You imagine this has to move 360 degree, I would have had lot of difficulties. Don't ask a question why the nose is given above the mouth, because I must smell the food before eating, so that I know it is either good or bad. No, many people eat all the stinky, dirty, dead body with a lot of masala on that and then make so much of fragrance so that it can eat. God would have never thought that this fellow is going to do this mischief and making their tummy as a dead body graveyard where all the dead bodies are put for digesting, right? The firing. So God has created with a good intention. Now Nandini is thinking much beyond the Brahma's level. Probably yes, it will happen. God is also doing a lot of experimentation. I keep saying, you can see twins, you can see two people, no, Siamese sort of a thing. Maybe you can see donkeys or monkeys or sheeps with 2 legs or 3 legs, probably 4 legs or 8 legs tomorrow. Brahma is doing his experiments, let him do his job. Who are we? അതിങ്കലെങ്ങാണ്ടൊരിടത്തിരുന്നു നോക്കുന്ന മർത്യൻ കഥയെന്തറിഞ്ഞു. I am a small creature which is created out of millions of animals, living, non-living, with a great environment around us. I am a small animal, not grown in the Nandini's level. I have never thought about this. Understood? By only what I long for sometime is in my poetry, where I say, let me have no boundaries, like animals which can jump from one survey number to another survey number, which can, I wrote a beautiful poem in which says, a moment everybody all human beings disappears from this planet. Only disappears, but the running metro runs still until the fuel is finished, right? The aircraft which is running will still run in a auto mode. Everything will happen, but everything will stop after some time, and all the street will become rivers, all the big houses will become mountain heaps, the where I sat will become ants and rats coming and staying, my house will become full of animals, and let me have another janma to see how this world changes over a few years. No, after 1 year what will happen, after 2 years happen. I have written undivided earth is my poetry. Look for undivided earth. I have got such dreams. I am only looking at what Brahma has done. Truly we are not allowing the nature, the world around us to live in the style in which Brahma wanted to make it, because human beings are so much of artificial we are making it. What Nandini wanted is happening. I am sure there are a lot of experiments which are going to happen or which is happening, in which I can have a chip in my brain so that everything will happen. I don't have to even to study. In the chip I can connect to anywhere in the world, instead of me asking, oh hey Google, tell me what is the temperature in Hyderabad today. So the Google will tell me what is the temperature today. The thinking itself is good enough. Before asking, I will get an answer to my brain, if that chip can be connected to my neurons. But we are not able to only have an artificial intelligence outside my brain. Imagine augmented reality, artificial intelligence can be connected to my brain. I don't have to have a video game. And why you are thinking only this much? DrTPS also had wide thoughts like this. Why should I have my breakfast, lunch and dinner if like every plants have got a, how do they grow? Photosynthesis. Photosynthesis is some sort of a chemistry. You are asking only a small thing. I am asking bigger thing. The chemistry in which the leaves can take energy from the sun and grow, if that comes in a small tube, I can take that and then apply onto my body and then show to the sun in the morning. I don't feel hungry, I don't feel thirsty. Wonderful, no? I can stand in the water for some time and then apply that cream and then show my hands and then my body onto the sun. I can walk in the sunlight. I don't require to eat anything in my life. I can have a photosynthesis body on my, which can be a cream applied to my body, and then it's a beautiful concept, right? So I am a person who dreams much bigger, not now. Maybe 20 years back I have dreamt like this. But I found that which is not realistic. Probably I should not think too wild. I should become little practical. It is good, nice to write a poetry on that. Probably a day will come. I don't know. Maybe a biologist will come with such a solution. A technologist will come with such a solution. It's quite possible, right? Yeah, it's quite possible. I love dreams. Yeah, I love dreams of this sort of thing which is very wild. And it's so nice of you asking such questions. And then, yeah, I also love to be, I am a poet, I am a philosopher, I am a science person. So I am a mix of all the three. So I love to do that. Yeah. Shall we stop now? It's 12:30 now.
It is better if some things are like this.
Yeah. It's nice to have such dreams and discussions. Good enough for the day? 12:30 now.
Oh, yes.
See, three things gives us happiness is, one is knowledge, another one is money. I must be rich enough. If I am not rich enough, I will assume that I have to meet you. I can just fly and then come to Ernakulam, right? I don't think twice whether I should spend that money or not. Understood? Because I am rich enough. So you have to make your money. I am a pensioner, so I am very cool. If I fall sick, I can go to any hospital and then get admitted in a 5-star style. Nobody will ask me money, because that's a facility which government has given me. Even I don't have a place to stay in Ernakulam, I can go to a hospital and get admitted. So it can be a 5-star hotel for me, right? Understood? So you need to have money, you need to have facility, you need to have fame. People recognize, identify, understands. They recognize. No, that is, the fame is not like a coolie fame. I am not talking about doing some jokes and then fun and then becoming like that is not what I want. With a fame with a respect, that is more valuable to me than anything else. And third one, you need to have knowledge. If you don't have knowledge, what will happen? Sometime people will make fun of you. You may do something which cannot be, for a long time you cannot stand in the world. That's what happens to politicians. They are famed because they have a power beside them. They have fame beside them, they have money beside them, not with the knowledge. Very less people you will see like a Tarur who has got knowledge. As long as he is there in the field, the knowledge is what is supporting him to become more famous. Understood? I have seen all these people, I interact with all of them very closely. I know all of them, I interact, I can shake hand, we have shared stages together. So we look at people at different models. Understood? What is beyond all this? Are you happy at this present moment? Are you expecting happiness after something happens to you tomorrow? No. I am happy at this moment, and I am sure I will continue to be happy after some time. Though there may be some small jerks and then breaks, some mistakes could have happened. That doesn't matter. I am correcting it, I am rectifying it, I am trying to be more blissful in my life. Understood? So that needs a difficult task. That's why I call it as a trial. Because it's not in you, it's with somebody else. Understood? So you need to be corrected, it need to be rectified. We make more blissful days ahead in my life, so that at the end of the death, oh, I have done something in my life. Vayu Ranila Maburdamadetam Basmantam Sharidam Om Krido Smara Kridam Smarami Kridam Smarami. What is that you have done in your life? If somebody asks, I can say, yes, I have done much beyond what I am supposed to do with my payment, with my knowledge, with my limitations. I have done much more than what I could do in my life. That credibility, if you can get it at the end of your life, you don't know when it is end of your life, but any day you are ready to make your end of your life. So I love my life. That's why most of my books are LIFE. Live in full enjoyment. Learn in full enjoyment. Learning is an investment for future earning. I invest my time in earning, learning, becoming famous, more becoming happy at the end of the day. Every day, if I take a stock, oh, I have done something great today. That feeling I have. Salam Namaste. See you
Doctor,
again.
you have added more smiles to me.
Wonderful. You keep smiling because it's something which doesn't require, keep smiling doesn't require any sort of a package, right? It comes free. Thank you. God bless you. Enjoy.